Hey, what's up? It's Tony from Street Church, and welcome to the Inside Job Podcast. Nothing changes if nothing changes. What I have learned in my almost 58 years of living is this. I will never have a day without a problem, nor have I ever had a day without a problem. And sorry to say, neither will you. Problems do not discriminate. And now, most of those times, most of those days, those issues or problems are fairly benign, insignificant, hopefully. It could be a hangnail. It could be low air in your tire that you have to fill up. But some days they are pretty big and they're fairly significant. Some of those problems, you have no one to blame but yourself. And some of those problems, it's just because of life, right? They're arbitrary, they're random, they're just a part of a Genesis chapter 3 world where bad things happen. So, and the truth is this, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what happens to us. What matters a lot more is what happens in us. And the reason why that's true is because of this. We can always control what happens in us. Lots of times we can't control what happens to us. There are sometimes we can, but lots of times those issues or problems we have no control over, right? But we can always control how we respond to it, how we react to it. Our natural bent when things happen is to automatically get discouraged or get deflated, to get disappointed, to get upset and angry about him. That's our go-to bent, right? We're hardwired. We have a negative hardwiring in us. I think that's why the Bible has a lot to say about the power of gratitude. I think that's why the Apostle Paul knew that I think that's one of the reasons why he wrote things like whatever is of good repute, whatever is excellent, whatever is praiseworthy, whatever is honorable, think on such things and the God of peace will be with you. Because he knew the truth, right? Like the human brain is so vast, it's so intricate, there's so much about it that we don't even know yet. But one thing that we know is this. Two opposing thoughts cannot occupy the same single space at the same time. They just can't. So if something happens and we're discouraged and we get upset and angry about it, and then if we choose to remember that, hey, every time we open up, our refrigerator, there are bottles of cold spring water in it. Or, on a hot day, we have cool air from an air conditioner that's pouring through our vents. That's keeping us cool. Or, you'll never have a day where you don't have food to eat in this country. Like if we choose to go to those places, then that negative automatic thought of discouragement or anger from a problem has to flee, because two opposing thoughts cannot occupy the same space at the same time. That's power. That's power. When people talk about, wow, it's gratitude and thankfulness is such a powerful tool. That's why. Because at that moment, when we choose to intentionally dwell on and even say out loud, Lord, I'm thankful that I have peanut butter every day in my cupboard. I'm thankful that, I have a car to drive from, A to B. I'm thankful that I have a brother who I can count on and call when I don't feel good. Like that is a lot more powerful than we give it credit for. And that's always within our control. And remember, nothing changes if nothing changes on the inside. And we always have control of what's going on the inside. And if we choose to take control over it, it can impact what's going on the outside tremendously. So, because at the end of the day, if we always do what we always did, we're always going to get what we always got. But we don't have to. We can actually control what we choose to dwell on and think on. And if we choose gratitude, then that negative emotion or feeling at the time that you have a problem has to put its tennis shoes on and flee. It has to, because two opposing thoughts cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Remember that. One for the road. Okay. If we always do what we always did, we're always going to get what we always got. Remember that. And remember, hey, count each day a new life. Hey, have a great day. I'll see you guys next week. God bless.